Hello everyone and welcome back. Yes, I know this video should have been me taking the new stove out camping, but things have moved on, and due to a great deal of really positive feedback, we've revisited the stove design and put a few improvements and modifications to it. Thank you very much for all the comments. They really were appreciated, and I'll mention a few of the things that were noted and I'll tell you what we've done about them. This is the Mark I stove. It's one of the prototypes. It hasn't got the logo on it. One of the things I did notice after, I think, 6 or 7 hours burn was that this grill here warped slightly. And although when it cooled down, it became flat again, I wanted to avoid that. So for the latest version, we've used a thicker steel for the grill. Another part of the design that I wasn't entirely happy with is we had these raised tabs for the bottom of the wall here, and those tabs support the collector tray. Now every time I put it back in the pouch, these tabs would catch, and it also meant that the whole device, once taken apart, didn't lie flat, and I wasn't happy with that. So we went back to the drawing board and came up with a modification to the design. Some people mentioned the possibility of having an ash tray of sorts, and for that we did give it an awful lot of thought. We made a design, but it actually weighed quite a lot. Stainless steel isn't light, and it was really important that we kept this as light as possible. When I was doing the tests in just a moderate wind, there was very little debris came out, and what was there was just blown away by the wind, really, and it would have done the same even if there was a shallow ashtray there. So the benefits, yes, of getting a little bit of ash collection is good, but the risk is that, yeah, it becomes an awful lot heavier, and we weren't happy to accept that. So what we're just hoping for is that people are responsible with the surface that this is put on, and yeah, I don't think we need the ashtray. And finally, one of the suggestions was that we make little slots that would hold the skewers secure if you're going to use the stove for kebabs. We thought long and hard about that as well, and we thought in the end, actually, if you're going to make kebabs using this grill, then the food on these skewers will actually push the skewers higher than these blade parts anyway, and we just liked the look and the line of the stove. We did put it onto the computer and take a look at it, but it just broke up what I think is quite a nice looking line, so we decided not to go ahead with any slots for the skewers. So thank you, some really good feedback, comments and suggestions, some of which we put into place, some of which we thought were good ideas, but as I've just explained, the benefits didn't really outweigh the drawbacks. However, we have a new version. Naming it was an issue. Some people came up with some stove names, but myself and my friend Steve are proud to announce the fire trough. So we haven't changed the basic shape of the stove. You'll notice these cutouts here, which I'll come to. And each component now has flush tabs, so they won't catch on the pouch, and also they'll lie flat. And these holes now act as catch holes for the tabs on the component parts. So it just drops in neatly. And thinking about the points that were made about the possibility of the grill sliding, we've added tabs to the grill. It's thicker, and it simply slots in like that and sits in the body of the stove. We also thought that the size of the feed holes that we had in the previous stove were a little small, so we've increased the width of these so you can get some bigger fuel sticks in. Another thing we wanted to do was add to the flexibility of the stove. So if you take the grill out and put in this insert, you can have not one but two trangia burners. And what we've done in the design is ensured that this first set of hob rings is perfectly over the top of where the gas jets come out, so it'll act just like a gas cooker. And don't change channel yet, we've gone one stage further. And if cooking with gas is your preference, then look no further. How neat is that? Well, turned out nice again. I've put my tarp up, and actually I think this is quite a good demonstration, because the size of the fire trough means that with a nice highly erected tarp here, then you can actually still cook and use what is in effect an open fire under shelter. So that's one of the benefits of this little invention. So let's put it together. Just had to get spookily close to the camera. It's really started to rain very hard now, you can hear it. I hope it's not interfering too much with the sound, but I've had to really gather up the tarp, and so that I've got a bit of a water runoff, because every so often I was getting a great gush of water that was getting pretty close to my filming gear. So, on with the setup. Right, so I'm just going to use one or two of these firelighters very quickly. And luckily I brought some logs with me, so I'll just pop a few of those on, and you can now see the size increase in these feeder holes. Makes it so I can take some pretty thick sticks. So a couple of people remarked on the channel when I reviewed
the Mark 1 stove, that it would be useful just as a fire pit. And indeed it is. Here we are, with a nice small fire going. It is good for the leave no trace ethos. Very little ash drops out, and what does is cool and really just wisps away. So yeah, a great fire pit, and I'm under the tarp now, and this really isn't an issue as long as you've got your tarp strung nice and high. Shouldn't have taken such a large mouthful. I can't talk to you. I am 100% happy with that. It's worked perfectly. It's a benefits over weight. We made it as thin as we can. There's just a tiny bit of bending as it heats up, but as I say, nothing that makes the grill or any of the other component parts not fit into place snugly all the way through. I'm really happy with it. This is delicious. All our own work. Bon appetit.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that demonstration from the woods. It was quite a wet day, but very enjoyable. Back now, and I've got the camera all close because it's all serious now. I really appreciate all the feedback we got about the first issue of the stove. All of it was really positive. Well, I say all of it. There's one person that said my dog got too close to the fire and it was cruel, but the dog spent 13 years warming its backside to an uncomfortable level, and I'm not about to change her habits now. Anyway, camera's close because this is the serious bit. People have mentioned that they'd be interested in purchasing the stove if we were to put it on the market. The first thing I want to do is stress that my YouTube channel is not a marketing tool. It's there purely for enjoyment. I pass on a bit of stuff that I've learnt to you, hopefully in an informative way. And from the feedback I've got, yeah, you enjoy the channel. So that's the way I really want to keep it. However, it doesn't excuse the fact that there are people asking if they can get hold of the stove. So myself and Steve have decided to accept some orders if you're interested in purchasing it. I'll put a link in the description to the sales platform that we're going to use. This is probably the last time I'm going to mention the sale of them on YouTube, because, as I say, I'm a bit uncomfortable with it becoming a sales channel. However, Instagram, I think, is a more appropriate platform for the sale. So if you check out my Instagram account, here's the logo there with the Instagram name, then that'll give you some more information as well. Pricing has been the difficult thing. We don't want to profiteer from this, but when we think about it, we've built 2 CNC machines, we've bought a lot of canvas, we've spent hours and hours and hours. Our mutual wives need bunches of flowers and spa treatments. If you're interested, the link to a means of purchasing the stove is in the description. And if you do, thank you very much indeed. But the main thing is, continue to enjoy this channel. I will be taking the stove out this coming weekend, meeting a mate, and we'll be doing a wild camp, which I'll video. I'm very much looking forward to that. Lots and lots of other exciting things as well. Really great on the subscriptions. They're still creeping up. Thank you very much. Please click the logo just there and subscribe with an alert. It'll be great to get some more people to watch the channel. But in the meantime, thank you very much. Have a good one, and I'll see you again.